What's up, friends and fam? Alright, so we just figured out the maze that is the Sector 5 underground. Turned on all 4 sun lamps, or turned off all 4 sun lamps, and now we should be able to just head straight to Sector 5. The power plant, at least.
And we're back at the cargo platform.
Get ready, Mako Reactor 5. We're coming.
Philip just texted me this morning, asking me if I wanted to go to Ernie's for lunch with him and a couple friends. And I have never responded so fast. I love Ernie's so freaking much.
So long, underplate. I hate you too.
That's the appropriate response, yeah. It's just such a good place, and I've never been disappointed.
Some materia that caught your eye. You want to go grab it?
Oh. Yes, I do.
You know, I think I do.
Yeah, because it was the summon materia for Tifa. It's up here. Thanks, Barrett.
Could they be going? Embarking on an adventure to find some treasure?
You know, I think the voice actor for Barrett just had a really good time with this game. I mentioned in a previous episode.
Ventilation system service mode active.
Oh, cool, a bench. I need a bench.
Complete procedure.
I mentioned in a previous episode that the voice actor for Barrett and the voice actress for Aerith, at one point did a stream of them playing the original Final Fantasy VII game. And
Does this control the fans?
it didn't keep going, which is unfortunate. I really wish it did. But I enjoyed watching them play and watching, and listening / watching the voice actor for Barrett just be so animated. Oh, right.
Man, what are we even doing?
I forgot I have to do this. Oh, man. I don't know if I'm ready for it.
No need to worry.
Ah. You know, I'm gonna be Barrett. No. I have to kill this thing in under a minute. You guys saw how poorly that went last time. Maybe abilities. Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Oh, come on.
Take the lead.
Let me handle it.
Take it over.
Guess it's my turn.
Thunder, Sentry Ray. Just get those guys gone. Smells Thunder, Sentry Ray. Tifa. Spells Fire, Queen Bee. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Come on, Tifa's the one with the fire. Ooh, yes. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh.
Hey, did you see me in action?
Must have missed it.
Error. Maintenance access
What?
procedure not complete.
I did it.
69.
Are you
Reactivating
serious?
ventilation system.
Unbelievable. That was so good. I've never done that my first try. Alright, I'm just gonna pause until I get it done.
That's the way
Alright.
to do it.
I did that a lot faster this time. You guys just saw it. Did it with 18 seconds remaining.
Engaging time lock.
I'm just that good.
Okay.
And it was only my second try, so that's even more frustrating. Chocobo. Yep.
This is summoning material.
Wow.
What kind of badass will pop out of this one?
We'll see.
I like that they've kept all of the, a lot of like the original materia that was just kind of like secondhand, because it's not the best materia, not really, but still fun though. So I actually don't know with this episode if I'll actually get to the end goal here. I might get to the Sector 5 reactor. I don't know, we'll see. I also thought it was funny that I was like, I always get lost in this part, and then I only get lost once,
Dark, dismal.
and then the rest I just make my way through anyway.
Then there's the smell. The Mako. Be ready for it.
Right.
Barrett always has like these speeches
It's the reactor
of
complex. Back
how the world should be and how the world currently is instead, and like some of it is actually like somewhat. Come on, aim for the right one, aim for the right one, there you go.
That thunder I hear?
Well, that's me again.
Gonna make your eyeballs pop. Hurry up. Coming at you hard and fast.
I'm trying to have commentary, but I'm trying to get all this done at the same time.
Gonna make your eyeballs pop.
You know, for the last few episodes, I've asked for some commentary about my videos, and you guys never comment. What's it gonna take?
This is gonna sting.
Maybe if I pay you guys. Can't pay you much though, because Rent is a snitch.
He's probably worried sick about us. Even after all that fighting, no one's coming.
Philip's wanting to buy a house.
This is Shinra's.
I don't know how,
Probably
because trying to buy a house
Why didn't
in
you say
Utah right
something
now
sooner?
way too late to
is
bail now.
ridiculous.
Walking a tightrope.
It's so expensive.
Two ways of
Rent rent alone
Balance.
is
You'd be good.
unbelievable.
I wonder.
I don't know how they expect us college students to pay $900 a month.
almost there.
By ourselves. Most places that I was looking at before moving in here, it was close to like $700 to $800 a month,
Just thinking about
and that's like per roommate, not total.
Something.
Per roommate is $700 to $800 a month, and I just don't know how they expect that out of people, because that's just stupid. That's just ridiculous and unrealistic for 19-year-olds coming right out of high school. Are you ready for this? It's just pigs.
Cloud.
I remember leaving my last apartment complex, not the shed. I lived, for those who aren't my family and watching, I lived in a shed legitimately for over a year actually. Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
You magnificent
But
son of a bitch. Bring it in.
I probably won't find a picture of
Where are
it
the others?
anytime soon,
Jesse got hurt.
or at least not soon enough. For
Not so bad. She couldn't in this guy.
January.
Thanks for stepping up.
It's a job.
I think
Worked out pretty
December is
good.
when I
You
took
picking that train you did.
the last picture of it
Shinra's
on the
scours Sector
outside.
4.
On the
Waltz right
outside.
on into Sector 5. It's a bit of a squeeze, but it's ought to get you where you need to go.
Little dark
Um,
foreboding for my taste.
Beggars can't be choosers.
But in my last
Oh,
apartment
and you'll be
complex,
needing your
it
grappling
was
guns.
student housing, and
All set?
Ready to take on
the
world
price only went up
again,
after I
son.
left. But
Make
while
sure
I was
everyone
there,
is clear, okay?
it was $620 a month for my room. That's just by myself. And like, luckily, I was actually working there, and so I had my
Okay,
rent
y'all, keep these grappling
paid
guns
for
close.
by working there.
Secure
But
'em
really,
to
all
your
they did
cover,
was
whatever,
just
so you
they
don't
took
lose 'em.
the
When we're done, we'll be
pay
using
of
these
my, or
babies to get
like
down
they took
safe.
my rent out of my monthly pay,
All of us.
and so I didn't really
Got it.
have my apartment paid for. I was just paying for it with my hours. And there it is, Sector 5 Underground's all done.
Wait.
Fix those lights!
Excuse me, sir.
Come
You're
on.
a tie?
I know I have a picture of it
Quickly
here
now,
somewhere.
quickly.
Oh, there we go.
That's it. That's the smell. This place reeks of Mako.
That's the shed that I lived in.
Looks like we made it.
It looks really small on the outside, but it was actually a lot more spacious than you think.
Layout's the same as Reactor 1.
We're near Mako storage.
Let's move.
Granted, my bedroom was in like the loft area, and well, that was like perfect timing. My bedroom was in the loft area, and my closet was down below, and I didn't have running water. I had electricity. I have to go and interact with this, I think.
I'm not seeing a
Yep.
way down.
Here, maybe?
Well,
I had electricity. I didn't have Wi-Fi, so I had to use my hotspot all the time. So, I'm sure my bills for that were ridiculous. But, so cool.
Kinda
Like
scary,
freaking
huh?
Tom Selleck in Mission Impossible 5, or 4, or 3, or 6, or 7. Why not just all the Mission Impossibles? I'm gonna have to fight that.
they sick this big boy on us, we'd be screwed 6 days from Sunday.
That's called
Mechanized
foreshadowing,
units like
Barrett.
these were designed to take out giant monsters.
But,
Probably
what was I saying?
do decide to deploy it?
Apartment.
And our best
Yeah,
bet would
so
be
it was
one like
$620 while I was living there.
Let's hope he sleeps
And that
through
was
this
for,
bullshit.
like, the quote-unquote largest room there. It wasn't the largest room, it was the same size as every other room. It just had one bed instead of
Where
2,
is everybody?
because it was a private room instead of a shared room. The shared rooms,
Cleared out as much.
however, were... Come on. Oh, there we go. The shared rooms
This will take long.
were only, I think like $460 a month, which wasn't, you know, terrible, but you also had no space for yourself. It was like living in a shed, but with somebody else.
Almost there.
And luckily, with me living in the shed, it was just me.
Takes me.
And I was living in the shed right after I had 6 roommates. And granted, I didn't get along with all of my roommates, but going from 6 roommates to 0, it was definitely a change in mood. I missed having roommates. I missed it, but oh no, I didn't want to do that. I thought I would get it. She really does get that stagger meter up really fast. No, not chakra. Gosh dang it. Although I guess I could get that chakra materia leveled up and That's not the worst thing. So I just don't know. I don't know what they expect out of college students being able to afford so much. In fact, it pissed me off. While I was working there, I was more or less forced to lie about so much. I was forced to lie about what requirements people had to have in order to live there, and I didn't feel good about it. For one, they like our resident students had to have a credit score of like 600 or higher, but because they're students either just barely out of high school or just barely getting into college, they didn't have credit scores. And so what we had to do, because we had no other choice, was we had to have their parents co-sign. And because their parents co-sign, it affects their parents' credit score if the student resident doesn't pay their rent on time. And because they're students, 9 times out of 10, they didn't pay their rent on time. And that was probably the thing I dealt with most with these residents, was threatening that they would go into collections if they didn't pay their rent. And I hated it. I didn't feel good about threatening them about their rent, and I didn't feel good about saying, well, you can't back out of your contract now. And I never said it like that. I mean, unless they were being like a real dick, I would just say it like, I'm sorry, but you signed your contract, you can't get out of it unless you sell it. And then the other thing is if they tried to sell their contract, or if they wanted to sell their contract, they had to, after selling it, done, like their financial responsibilities of paying for the room, done. But there is a contract sell fee, not a sell fee, a sell fee, that once they sell their contract, they owed the renting property 85% of their month's rent as a sell fee. And that is just effing retarded. I've never heard of that anywhere else, and they're literally just trying to get money out of you any way they possibly can. 85% of your month's rent. So even if you sell your contract just after you just paid your month's rent, guess what? You have to pay that again, just because you're leaving. And it's just like the most spiteful thing, like leaving a super toxic relationship.
What?
And as soon as you're like, okay, well, I'm gone, we're done, I'm breaking up with you, they're like, oh yeah, well, and they take your heart. That's exactly it. Same thing. True, full comparison there. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but still, just
How much time we need?
unbelievably stupid.
This one comes with a remote detonator.
Remote.
Courtesy of Jesse.
We withdraw to a safe distance.
Yeah. For any of you watching this that aren't already somewhere else and happy, don't ever, do not ever live in student housing. It is just a complete scam through and through. Alright, goodbye ladder.
What the? Where you going?
Complete scam through and through. Read through the contract, know what you're signing, because
Is someone
there's a 99.999% chance that they are just out for your money as a 19-year-old, and they're gonna go, it's like this everywhere. Don't worry, like, we're not gonna scam you. It's like this everywhere, and we're obviously the best, and we're not gonna scam you. No, we don't want that. We just want you here. It's like, yeah, they want you there because you're giving them money. Anyone would want you there. You would want anyone with you if they were giving you money. That's just it. That's the reality of the situation.
What is this?
And yeah, I felt horrible working there. I only worked there for maybe about 5 months, and after that, I was just like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. That was one of the big reasons. The other big reason was because they just were treating me terribly. Not just because like I was living there, but as like an employee, they did not care about me being there. And so, not only did they treat their employees piss poor, but they treat their residents piss poor. And whenever you would put in like a request to have something fixed, it was the bare minimum that was done. The bare minimum. And yeah, just horrible. And like, we were like proud of our 3.8 star rating on Google. We were like, yeah, we're the highest rated student housing property in Orem County. It's like, that's not something to be proud of. 3.8 is miserable. Get your shiz together, then actually do something about it. Like, for example, one of the main reasons we had a 3.8 rating was because we had a gym room at the complex, but the gym room was supposed to have 2 different TVs. Which one would be Tifa? Because she has fire. And that's Tifa's weakness. Anyway, we had a TV in our. Well, we were supposed to have 2 TVs. Ooh, Tifa, freaking get them. Just rock their world. Hit all 3 at once. That was the most bad A thing, but now she's about to die. Anyway, we're supposed to have a TV, or 2 TVs, in the gym room. But then, because our complex was just so piss poor with spending money on security, the TVs were stolen out of the gym room because they didn't have cameras in the gym room where the TVs were. And they had, by the time I was working there, they had already been stolen for about 6 months now. And they hadn't replaced them, and they hadn't gotten new cameras, nothing. They hadn't done anything to upgrade the security in the slightest.
I'm sold.
And what I was supposed to tell, this goes with like me lying to potential residents and current residents. Oh, that's unfortunate. Was that, oh yeah, we're gonna put the TVs back up. Like if I were giving a tour to a potential resident, they would ask like, oh, what about those? I would say, oh yeah, we're gonna put the TVs back up after we're done repainting in here, because like somebody had put one of the medicine balls on the treadmill and it had gone through the wall, so there was a patch there. And so because the patch was there, it did look like we were repainting. And so I was like, oh yeah, once we're done repainting, we're gonna put the TVs back on. And they were like, oh yeah, okay. And again, the entire time that I was there, no TVs were put up again. So obviously, some lie was being told. And it just made me feel so disgusting. I did not like it. It was terrible, terrible, terrible place. don't ever live in a student housing complex. They will just lie their butts off to you all the time, and you're not special. They're not gonna like you just because you bring stuff to the office, and they're not gonna like you just because you pay your rent on time. No, like, it really does not matter. They just don't care about you. If you don't pay your rent, you're as good as dead to them. You know, that's just the fact of the matter.
All clear. Now let's see what these bastards were up to.
Oh crap, where's the security key? I think it's... Do I have to, I think I have to interact with one of the computers first. Nope, there's the security key right there.
Huh? Find something?
Key card.
You think? Nice work. Hey, get over here.
Just let me interact with the computer, please.
It looks like a few of its components are still in transit.
Could tamper a little with it.
And give ourselves an edge?
So
There should be a
basically,
console somewhere.
as I continue through this area, the reason I got that key card is because I'm going to interact with this thing, and I can stop the shipment of certain components to this robot that we're about to fight. So it has like certain attacks where it like sends bombs out onto the battlefield, or it has lasers, or it has like
Yep.
something.
Sounds bad.
And
Pretty sure I can.
throughout this little excursion I have, I'm going to collect key cards, and then I'm going to be able to stop it from having bombs, or stop it from having lasers. And I can only do like one or the other. I can't
Flagged for disposal.
stop it from having everything, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't be much of a boss fight.
So far,
And I've never really found like a good
Let's move.
combination of what to make it not have. Oh, do I need to go here? No. Oh yeah, I do. I've never found a good combination of what to make it not have. I've done either or. I've done it where it doesn't have any M units, or it doesn't have any bombs, or it doesn't have any lasers. And honestly, the fight is identical no matter what. Most people would argue that
Talking to yourself again.
getting rid of the bombs is the best way to go. But no, don't.
Ain't no thing.
Oh, I don't have. Need that. It is one of the harder bosses of the game, though. I would equate it to one of the end of game bosses, which is also a robot. But yeah, I mean, it's just like the original. Some of the hardest bosses in the game were just some of the giant robots. Anyway, I think I'm actually going to end this episode here. The next episode, I'm just going to be crawling through these next few areas, making it so that I'm halting progress on the giant robot. But, yeah, that's all you're going to be seeing for the next one. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned something with, freaking student housing. Avoid it like the plague. Alright, I'll see you.